what's up? I'm pretty sure you called me, but since I have you, let's talk about Thunderbolts. Let me start. I thought Thunderbolts was amazing. I thought as a standalone film, it was really good. And as the next lead up to the next Marvel film, whatever that may be, was also good. I'm pretty sure you saw the movie, right? Or, at least heard the rundown of it, notice about. So we're not gonna get into it scene by scene. But I have a few notes of the film. I think they make a good new Avengers. Now, hold on. Don't attack me. I think that as a group, they have a really good starting base. Well, we have three different people on this team with the super soldier serum. And we have Ghost, whose powers are very much different than the rest of the team, which I enjoyed, but I thought they should have, capitalized on more, or at least explored more. Her as a character, but also how her powers could help them further. If they had one or two more characters, right, and those characters were like overpowered or mutants even, that would make them a really good Avengers. Now, right now, they're kind of just the formation, you know what I mean? The baseline to the Avengers, to what they will be. Because, again, if you think about Avengers 1, Thor didn't start off on the group, joined after, Loki came down because he wanted some attention. Thor joined the group, and that helped them to be as OP as they were, as amazing, as noteworthy as they were. Not to say that, Tony Stark doesn't help. He does. But there are a lot of people equivalent to Tony Stark or Steve Rogers, or even people that have powers that can help them, like the Hulk, where I don't see this team being a complete letdown. I think it's a really good start to the new Avengers, especially since you could always add new characters or take away from some of the characters we have on the team. Like Alexei, let's be honest, what does he add? I'll wait. He is comedy relief, but he's not much more skill-wise. You know what I mean? He could be the mascot. Anyway, I'm not trying to be mean. I think this group could be fantastic if they just had one or two more extra superhero powered characters that weren't shoot or punch. I also think my next thought was I like that Yelena is the leader. It actually makes me so happy to see her as a leader. And I like that they baked in why she should be the leader. I liked how, even in the Black Widow film, she had traits of leadership, like trying to help every single one of the Black Widows and going out of her way to go and rescue the Black Widows to free them of the mind control. Like, she easily could have gotten the serum, woken up, and decided to leave.
So how many widows have you helped?
Many. Yeah, it's hard work. It's hard finding them. It's hard watching them wake. But it's so worth it. And when we've cleared up all of this mess, we will make good lives for ourselves.
That's leadership quality. And also the fact that they built it in with her empathy and understanding of Bob and Taskmaster.
You knew her? Yeah, I did. She had a tough life. She killed a lot of people and then she got killed. Same as us someday. It's a shit life.
Yeah, well, what other life can we have?
Oh, says the guy with the Norman Rockwell family waiting for him at home.
Yeah.
Those are also leadership skills, because leaders, they don't just need to talk, but also listen, to also understand where others are coming from in order to make decisions where everybody benefits or that's right. And I think Elena is the perfect leader for this group. I don't know who would be a better leader for the Avengers, besides for Captain America, but we've had that before. So it's a nice change to have it be somebody else, even to have it be a Black Widow, no less. I love Natasha, don't get me wrong, but she was a side character. She was a footnote in the stories of all the men she was surrounded by. She was always the side character until it was time for her to kill herself or for her to have her own film. She was always a side character to everybody else's story. So having the next Black Widow, or whatever Yelena's calling herself now, be the leader of the group, not some side character, not a footnote in the story, not some sacrificial lamb, but actually be the leader of the group, the biggest part of the group, no less, is a very good and interesting change to have. You know, based from this Avengers to the last, they're very different groups and people hate it, but I think having them be so completely different helps to me and not worsens. Here's my next point. I agree with Sam on suing for the name Avengers. Now, I know what you're gonna say. What are you talking about? You just said they were a good new Avengers. I did, and I still do. I think if they keep the name, if it wasn't a problem of government funding, they should keep the name, and they should be the new Avengers, and they should prove themselves worthy, because that's what this group is about. Proving not to others, but to myself that I'm worthy, that I'm not worthless or hopeless or this horrible person because of the things I've done, that I can overcome, and not only my largest mistakes, but my deepest, darkest fears, the deepest, darkest parts of myself that are absolutely terrifying to actually have to stand up to and confront and accept. I think Sam is right to sue them for the name Avengers 100% because they're government funded. I don't like Valentina. I don't trust Valentina, and Valentina is getting her money from the government. No government should have control over superheroes, super soldiers, or even mutants and what they do. I'm with Sam, I'm with Steve. In all of the Captain America movies, Steve and Sam's included, they say why they don't like the government explicitly many times. And they both hate the government for different reasons, but the point is they cannot be trusted. We should not be giving the government people that they can exploit and use for their own gains. Because what's going to happen when one country gets in a fight with another country, but one of the countries have superpowered people on their side? You don't think any country is going to retaliate? Because now you're not just a superhero, you're representing the US government. It's a large thing to be government funded, and if Sam successfully sues them for the name and Sam makes his own Avengers and they become something more, something else, I think I would be good with that too, because if Sam's Avengers are not government funded, then I'm with that. I'm all the way with that, because that's, if you're not with that, why, you can't tell me you like the Captain America movies. Not liked, but understood them. You know what I mean? You really have to understand what Steve is trying to tell you, what Sam is trying to tell you. And I'm with them, honestly. And my last point, I still hate John Walker. I have seen so many YouTube videos past my timeline where people are like, well, it was reasonable. What are we talking about? You know, he killed a man on purpose? Like, it wasn't even an accident. Like, if it was an accident, you could be like, okay, well, he didn't mean to, it was a mistake, but it wasn't a crash out, it was a choice. A choice that was made. It wasn't a mistake. It was on purpose. He purposefully killed a man because his friend died. A man that actually didn't even kill his friend. If you wanted to kill anybody, at least let it be the person that actually had to do with your best friend dying. And my biggest problem is not what he did. My biggest problem is his actions after what he did. He feels zero regret and zero remorse for the actions he took. He feels more regret. He acknowledges and recognizes more so his own pain, the consequences of his actions, more so than the actions themselves. His worst moment, when we enter Bob's mind and we're in the void and all these characters are going through their worst moments, right? And we see John Walker's. What is his biggest moment? He is sitting in a chair, obsessing over himself again while his baby cries in the crib, and he's ignoring his family as if they don't exist to him because of what he's going through. His worst moment was ignoring his family, not taking a life. He isn't even recognizing the life he took, and then even tries to justify taking that life in Thunderbolts.
Innocent man in the streets, do I have that right?
Really define innocent.
What are we talking about right now? How does that equate at all? It doesn't. It does not. It doesn't give you the right to kill somebody. And just because you would have done it too doesn't make it reasonable or cool. It just means you're just as bad as that character. It means you would make just as bad a choice as he did. It means you too should not be Captain America. Not, oh, what he did was cool because I understand. You can understand and still see what he did was wrong. Like Joel in The Last of Us. You understand why he saved Ellie. That does not make him saving Ellie okay. If you believe that they would make a cure or whatever. I don't believe that, but that's a conversation for another day. Now, I'm not saying everybody should be crying all the time, but he could show some kind of recognition or regret for the life that was lost. He is a man sulking about the consequences of the choice he made instead of caring at all for the actual choice that was made. Anyway, I think that this movie was fantastic. Those are my notes. Those are the 4 things that I thought about this movie. I think they would make a great Avengers if they keep the name. I think if they don't keep the name, I'm also cool with that too, because I understand why Sam is suing. I love that Yelena is the leader of this group, and I hope they continue to build on her being the leader and her differences from Natasha. And I really still hate John Walker, and I hope they give me more of his character though. I'm not saying I never want to see him again. I hope they give me more of his character. I hope they better develop his character. What did you think? What were your notes? What are your thoughts? How are you feeling about this movie? Also, join my Discord if you would like to have a real conversation. If you would really like to call me, have a conversation on what you thought this movie was, what was so great about it, or if you hated it, I would love to hear why. I haven't heard a single person say they hated this movie, but if you did, please comment, like, subscribe. I want to know, why did you hate this movie, or why did you love it? Let me call you back. I'm a little busy. The siblings need me. They love me. They need my attention. I'll see you later. Bye.